Hello, Susanna.
Hello.
Welcome to Zoom. I don't know if you've heard of it before.
Seriously, it looks very dark, my camera now. Does it look dark to
Yeah,
you?
it's quite moody, but it's fine.
Oh,
It's very flattering.
let's see if I think it's probably because it's, adjusted.
I think
Oh,
it's
actually,
fine.
that's a bit better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're all
yeah,
good.
yeah.
We're all good. We are recording, by the way.
Oh, are we? Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah,
Okay. Look,
that's
here's
all
some
right.
light. I'll put some lights on.
There we go.
Hello.
Hello, Susanna Gillers, photographer.
Yes.
Welcome. Welcome to Zoom. We're having a
Yes.
touch of
Oh goodness me.
voltage there, but there we go. How are
Yeah.
you today, my darling? You all right?
Good. Yes. Good. Just enjoying the little bit of kind of calm before half term.
Mm,
Just sorting out, finishing, tying up loose ends before
yeah,
the week off.
kicks
Um,
in. Yeah. Oh, well,
yeah, so that will be good.
thank you for agreeing to chat with me today. And as always, I'm going to try and keep this as brief as possible, but
Mhm.
I thought it would be helpful to maybe give people a bit of an overview of how we worked together and
Yeah,
what particular challenges we were looking at, how we addressed those, and what you've got out of it, because I think it just helps to give people a bit of an insight into what goes on behind the scenes of brand writing and copywriting. So we worked together on your website copy, didn't we, last year?
yeah. And
And
yes, all of the strap line and, well, I think the complete overhaul, really, wasn't it? It was like a brand refresh in a way.
well, it's interesting you say that, yeah, because often that is how it works. People come to me for website copy, but because of
Mm.
the thinking you have to go through in order to answer the questions to get that copy right, it
Yes.
does become quite a bit of a deep dive into the whole brand, into your messaging, your
Yeah.
tone of voice, and how you want to present yourself. So yeah, you get more than just words for your website, don't
Yes.
you?
Yeah.
So do you want to start by just telling us a little bit about you and the type of work you do, and then go on to perhaps what the issues were we were trying to address on your website, and how we tackled those?
Yeah. Yeah. So I primarily do product photography. I work with brands as well, that some service brands, but ultimately, like yourself, my work is about capturing the essence of a brand visually, and clearly, I'm not very good with doing that with words, but with the camera, fantastic.
Mm.
But yeah, so I had lots of lovely images, but there was obviously a common theme running through my work, but I hadn't really it's very hard to stand outside yourself, I
Mm.
find, with
Yeah.
any of this, and actually having someone else come in and just look at everything, you immediately spotted what was happening and were able
Where
to
we were going wrong. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then and it wasn't just, I mean, you also visually curated my portfolio along the way, and everything. So I mean, it ended up being a lot more than what I had anticipated. And I mean, I don't know quite what I was expecting, but initially I suppose I was just thinking, oh, I need someone to write this in a more eloquent way. My writing was very heavy and technical and wordy, and I mean, even I got exhausted just reading it. It was just like, oh god, like 2 lines in, you're just like, I'm tired.
Well, I think you've
um
done that classic thing, hadn't you, where you focused on what you do rather than what the benefit is to your client. And so, when you
yes,
say I visually curated your portfolio, I mean that makes it sound quite grand. But I think what I tried to do with you was to pull out the type of things that you enjoyed doing, the type of clients you wanted to work on, and I could see very clearly, as you say, that thread of these very stylish brands. You've done a lot of work for some very stylish brands, and every so often there was a project that just didn't quite hit the mark, or was going
and I
to take
had
you off in a different
old
direction.
work as well.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
Some
hard to let
stuff
go of old
from
work, isn't it?
years ago that I had some bizarre connection to and just couldn't bear to get rid of.
Mm, mm.
um
But then
but
once you sort of articulate what you want your work to be about, it's then much easier
yes,
to say, well, that clearly fits and that clearly doesn't, and you just can be
yeah,
a bit more ruthless about it, can't you?
definitely. And that clarity, I think that's that's the thing that I have been left with after, as well as obviously the amazing words. It's something that's continued on after. And actually, I refer back to the document that you gave me quite often, just to remind myself, especially if I'm doing something like adding case studies to my website. I'll go back and look at what the values were and try to just bring that out and to make sure that I select the right kind of work to be showcasing. And also even just as small things like my Instagram, sometimes I just need a reminder of what I'm doing, because it's quite easy to lose your way.
Yeah, and actually that's a really good point, isn't it? Because it's not viable to have me copyright everything, or any
that's it.
everything. And so you know, what I always try to do is, I always feel like I'm not giving you a voice as much as clearing out the stuff that's getting in the way of the true voice. And so hopefully once we've done that and we've created the space and the clarity, it should then be much easier for you going forward to be able to use that voice that deep down has always been in there. And I think for us the key was this style element, wasn't it? So you'd been talking a lot about your technical prowess, which is a selling point, and we do still reference that you know, you are incredibly highly skilled technically as a photographer, and the level of post-production that you offer, and the level of lighting that you offer. In fact, you took pictures for me in this room, which is a really dark room with leaded windows. And I couldn't believe, I mean, people will see them on my website, I couldn't believe the light that you managed to blow out in this room. It's incredible if I try and take a picture in this room. So you have those technical skills, but ultimately what that translates into is people aren't buying that. What they're buying is the beautiful images and the style.
And the individual style, yes.
That's it. So we tried to capture that in a strap line, didn't we, which then kind of feeds through in
The
you like your strap line? Do you love your
oh my goodness
line?
It's like putting on the most fabulous, like glamorous, amazing jacket. I was like, because my old one was like a uniform.
Yeah.
You know, like a kind of very stuffy uniform that I was like me. And then there's just like this, oh my goodness, wow, amazing, sparkly, shiny, amazing.
So what is the
it just encapsulates everything. I don't know how you did it. It's incredible. But my old strapline, I'm trying to remember, so I've tried to wipe it from my memory.
It's on my case study, isn't it? Something very techy.
It's brand-driven commercial photography crafted with strategy.
Sorry, what did you say? I just nodded off. Yeah. Was it brand-driven photographic solutions? I love that one. Anything with the word solutions in it.
It was of that ilk.
Yeah.
I mean, it just wasn't inspiring, and it just didn't. You know, it said what I do. Like, this is the problem ultimately throughout my whole interactions with copy, is that I was very much focused on, you know, there was no kind of it was just very one-dimensional, I suppose. And whereas the art of what you do is that you manage to capture the ethos, the whole feel and everything, just without actually saying it, you know, just in a very, very delicate, beautiful way. And I just that was incredible when I opened the document, and it was there, photography for seriously stylish brands. I was just like, oh wow. And then obviously all the copy was amazing and very down to earth. That was another thing, like the way you describe things is accessible. And I think before all the technical, wordy, heavy stuff, it was just off-putting. But there's no way I could have done what you had done with it. Although it still felt like
I could take photos like you take photos. So we'll call it quits, shall we?
But I mean, for years and years, I agonised over the copy on my site, and I reworked it, and it was just never right. And thankfully, you know, it came along to a time where I thought, right, this is time to invest in really making this work. And obviously, it was just so much more than I could have ever anticipated, and it opened up the whole, like I said, a brand refresh really, because then everything followed suit and everything fell into line. So yeah, I think ultimately it is the key to the whole feel of everything now, which has been really amazing.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you so much. So going forward, what of your plans? Are you going to build on it somehow? What's going to happen next for your business
Yeah.
and your brand, do you think?
Well, I think at the moment, I feel like everything is as it should be. I'm moving forward to just most of the clients that I get now are exactly the type of client that I wanted,
Oh, that's
and
good.
obviously it's working.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
It's obviously connecting with the people that I wanted it to connect with,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll probably just get more and more specific potentially. I mean, I think things can always be improved, and I think it's always a work in progress, isn't it?
Yeah. And also it's just been such a funny year as well this year that
Yeah,
there's, you know,
exactly.
we're all a little bit sort of out of step, aren't we? But
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, I think going forward it will be just more of the work that I love doing ultimately, and just focusing until I don't know whether it will become just one thing or whether my style will evolve. It's hard to say, but I think ultimately what you captured is that the style is what I do, and what I create. And I think it's the same for you, isn't it? You take something from, you manage to find that thing and then communicate it, which is, yeah, it's amazing when it
well,
works.
that's what you helped me with. So, you know, just briefly, because I think you've explained brilliantly there what we did together, and thank you so much for doing that. But yeah, so last year Susanna and I also worked together on some brand photography for Opal and Co, and again I got the same kind of level of service from Susanna, in as much as that I knew what I wanted to be about, but I had no idea of how I could translate that to something visually. And you just, I don't know, you just created something that was so much richer and warmer, and just had so much more depth to it than anything I'd had before. But you know, that's probably another video. We'll do
Yes,
another chat
exactly.
about
That'll
that
be
one day. Yeah. But
Yeah.
thank you so much
Oh,
for
it's really
chatting
lovely to
with
chat.
me. Yeah, it's lovely to see you, and hopefully we can have a coffee in person
I
sometime
know.
really soon. Would be
Yes,
nice, wouldn't it?
soon, hopefully. Although
Yeah.
it looks like we might be heading into the next round of not having coffee. Who knows?
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Next time there's
Yeah,
a break, we'll get in there.
that would be good. All right, hon.
Oh,
So nice to
lovely.
see you. Thanks for your time.
You
Take
too.
care.
Thank
Bye,
you.
Susanna.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.